Hello and welcome into this week's edition of the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below and hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. On today's edition of the Xfinity Rewind, we're looking back at Saturday's 24th Annual Ford Ecoboost 300. 200 laps, 300 miles around the 1.5-mile Homestead-Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. Only two cautions on the day, and they were for the stage breaks. Another, the equivalent of what a caution-free race is now in the current state of NASCAR. With stage racing, we're never going to have a true caution-free race, but this and the truck race were as close as we're going to get with stage racing. Lap 45 was the Stage 1 conclusion. Cole Custer took the Stage 1 victory. Stage 2 ended at lap 90. Cole Custer also took the stage victory in that one. Cole Custer was very quick early on. John Hunter Nemechek also was very quick right behind him. Lap leaders on the day, 5 lead changes among 4 drivers. Cole Custer far and above led the most laps in this race. 95 laps total of the 200 laps. Not a surprise. If we remember back to last year, after he took the lead at lap 61 in the 2017 Ford Ecoboost 300, he never let the lead go again. He was so fast last year at this track, and he was really fast again this year. Didn't lead quite as many laps, though. So, was he able to hold on and win the championship? John Hunter Nemechek led the second most amount of laps in the race, 52. Tyler Reddick led a good number at 44 as well. And Christopher Bell led a total of 9 laps in this race. All right, let's get into your results. Tyler Reddick took home the victory in this race after a late green flag pit stop. Shuffled up the running order just a bit among the championship contenders. Pit strategy may have been what did Cole Custer in. He and his crew waited just a bit longer than Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell did to pit. And it seems like that might have made the difference as Tyler Reddick was able to pull away at the end of the race. Custer was not quite able to close the gap that he had lost through that exchange of pit stops. And once he got back so close, tires kind of equaled out, and Reddick started to pull away again. And that would be all she wrote. Tyler Reddick, with 2 wins now on the season after winning this race, is your 2018 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion, his 3rd win of his career in the Xfinity Series. Cole Custer did come home with a strong 2nd place finish, though. John Hunter Nemechek came home in 3rd. Daniel Hemrick locked down the 4th position for 3rd in points on the season, and Austin Cindric rounded out the top 5. Rest of your top 10 were Ryan Preece, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Michael Annett, and Matt Tifft. 11th through 20th, we see Christopher Bell here in the 11th position. Had some speed most of the day. Car kind of fell off as we got later into the day, as the track started to transition into nighttime. Bell kind of lost the handle on the car, and without some cautions to bunch things back up and more pit stops, it wasn't a good scenario for Christopher Bell, unfortunately. There wasn't much he could do at the end of the race. The car just was not there for him. Ryan Reed there in the 12th position. Good run in what could possibly be his final race for Roush Fenway Racing. We don't know it for sure. Nothing official has been announced what he is doing next year. We just know that Lilly Diabetes is leaving the sport, so he will not have Lilly Diabetes sponsorship going forward. We don't know whether that means he's out at Roush Fenway completely or what the story is going forward. Chase Briscoe, your Charlotte Roval winner, came home in the 13th position. Elliott Sadler, in his final NASCAR Xfinity Series race as a full-time driver, came home in the 14th position. 21st through 30th, we see Max Tollman down here in the 25th position. We've seen him in a limited schedule this year in the Xfinity Series. Also saw him in a few races on the ARCA side as well. And final page, 31st through 40th. Most of these drivers having issues, mechanical issues one way or another, or being start and park cars out fairly early in the event. All right, so that is your results from the Ford Ecoboost 300. So let's head over to the media center, and we'll see what Tyler and the others had to say after this one.
It's something I knew was possible all year long, and maybe not everybody in the garage believed it, but our team believed it, and that's all we need. The guys in the shop believed it. Winning in the first race of the year was huge. It was a huge sigh of relief knowing that no matter what horrible things could happen, we were locked into the playoffs. But at the same time, I think looking back, obviously going into the playoffs, we looked back and we just, I wouldn't say we as a team. I was simply just too aggressive and tore a lot of good race cars up, unfortunately. But playoffs came around. We refocused. We honed in on what we had to do. We weren't always. I got to say the practice sessions between the round of 12 and round of 8, we weren't ever really that great. We were always kind of struggling of the guys that were competing for the championship, and we were always wondering how we were going to get speed in the race and get the points we needed to advance the next round. And my team always worked really hard, especially the 7 weeks prior after practice to make our car better and to get ourselves in position to score points and survive.
Great. Thank you, Tyler. If you have questions.
This is Dale Jr.'s phone. There's a lot of good stuff on that thing.
And we'll take a look at your final point standings of the 2018 Xfinity Series season before wrapping up here tonight. Obviously, as we know here, Tyler Reddick is your champion. Also, he is the highest rookie in points as well, so that makes him the Rookie of the Year this season as well as the champion. So congratulations to Tyler Reddick. That was not locked up going into this race, as both he and Christopher Bell were in this championship for, so either one of them could have won it, and Tyler Reddick does come away with it. Also of note here in the top 10, Ross Chastain, even running the final few races of the season back in that 4 car for JD Motorsports, still hung on for a top 10 finish in points. So kudos to Ross Chastain for that. He will get to show up at the banquet, and then he'll be in that 42 car full-time for Chip Ganassi Racing next year. So big things on the horizon for Ross Chastain. I'm excited to see what he does going forward. We've already seen what he can do in his 3 races in that 42 car this season, so I would look for him to be a huge threat in the Xfinity Series next season. But I think that'll do it for us on tonight's NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind show, the final of 2018, as this was the final race of the season. We do have a Cup Series preview show coming up tonight as well. I'm not sure if that's already up or not. Not sure if that's going to go up before or after this, but if it's not already, it should be up fairly soon, so keep an eye out for that, previewing tomorrow's Ford Ecoboost 400, the championship race for the Cup Series, and then, of course, a Cup Series Rewind show coming up tomorrow evening as well, and then, of course, pole position Monday evening, 8 p.m. to recap all 3 races from Ford Championship Weekend at Homestead-Miami Speedway. But if you haven't done it already, go down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. And while you're down there, hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It's much appreciated when you do. So with that, this has been the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.